Good afternoon and welcome to our tree treatments demonstration for 2020. While many things have changed this year, the inspiration for lovely Christmas trees at the Rhoads Garden has not changed this year. In fact, I think we've outdone ourselves. Welcome to tree number 1, which we're calling Garden Party. Very fitting for our lovely garden store. We love this tree. It's a brand new look for us. It's very on trend. Dried flowers are very popular this season. The look that you're seeing that we have done is not actual dried material. These are all artificial blooms that are made to look like dried material, so they last. You can put them away and store them from year to year. You can use them in the springtime for floral arrangements, and you don't have to deal with the mess of actual dried flowers. We'd like you to take note that this theme has a harvest feel to it, so you can put it up earlier and get away with it. You can also leave it up longer into the spring season even and get away with it. We also would like to show you some of the actual natural elements that you can add into this tree to give it some dimension. You'll see that we do a Biedermeier technique of concentric circles, bands of one type of flower. Now I'm going to show you how you can add a little bit to give it a little bit more wintry holiday feel. One of our favorite natural elements to add here at the Rhoads Garden are beautiful pine cones. Some are just the cone itself in its natural state. These are called sugar cones. We also have them treated in different ways. Some have snow tips or glitter to give a little sparkle. Either one of these is a lovely addition to a tree like this. And you can see that it just gives it a little bit more of a wintry feel. You can add in the white as well. We also have artificial but extremely real looking pampas grasses, which can give a little dimension if you tuck them in deep, and then protruding out just gives a little dimension to the tree. We also carry an array of birch branches. These are just a few examples. We have a sparkle glitter, we have gold painted, we have natural. They are something that you can add in swag as another element to just bring it to life a little bit so it doesn't look like it's all dried material. Our second tree we'd like to share with you, we're also very excited about. This theme is called Swan Lake. The simplicity of this speaks for itself. We've decided to show you an atypical Rhoads Garden tree where less is more. The beauty of a tree like this is that you literally only need to introduce one element throughout the tree, and it makes a beautiful, subtle statement. You are not limited to icicles for a tree like this. You could make the whole tree prisms. It could all be balls. It could all be bells, all be birds. And it just gives a uniform feel that's very soothing. On this particular tree, we've also added some of the elements that we talked about in the garden party theme, one of which are the large oversized cones. This is a way that you can give a little bit of depth to the tree instead of just one element, but still keep it simple, and it's also a very inexpensive way to amplify the look of your tree rather than redoing an entire thing. We do want to mention that we have a lot of different types of icicles on the tree. Some of these are glass, some are crystal. A lot of them are acrylic or plastic, very family friendly, pet friendly if tails are wagging near your tree, so you don't have to be afraid of an icicle theme. And a lot of them are very affordable. These range in price from 99 cents on up. Some of them we sell in boxes, so you can get a box and already have a large area of your tree done. Another element that we added that we spoke about on Garden Party are the birch branches. This is a slightly different treatment. This is all glittered in a lovely champagne, very subtle neutral color. And we've also taken these branches at the top of the tree. We're known for our toppers. This is very simple and just a handful of branches up there Not only do they give it a beautiful, whispery, wintry feel, they also give you somewhere to hang clusters of icicles so that they look very realistic. And you can really see them because they protrude out from the tree. And notice how our designers have grouped the icicles in places on the tree, 2 or 3 in an area, which is also how they would naturally form on trees outside. Here is a lovely theme called Home for the Holidays. This is our newest take on a very traditional red and green, festive, bright, sparkly Christmas tree. Leave it to us to come up with some new exciting elements every year to show you. One of the things I want to mention is the order in which you want to put things on your holiday tree. Regardless of whatever your theme might be, it's important to remember that you want to put your largest elements on the tree typically first. If you have an artificial tree, generally they all come pre-lit, which is wonderful. If you do a fresh tree, which you're lighting yourself, we recommend that the lights go on first, and it's important not to just wrap the surface of your tree with lights. You want to make sure that the lights are going in deep towards the trunk and then coming back out, and that you use an ample amount of them. If you don't use enough lights and the tree looks dark, once you begin to add your elements on, it will get darker. You want to really have lots of sparkle and reflection. So we recommend about 100 strand of lights for every foot height of your tree. So if you have a 7-foot tall tree, you're going to use about 700 light strands, or 9-foot tree, approximately 9. So lights would go on first, and then the next thing you're going to put in the tree are some of your very big elements, which will go in deep into the tree so that when people look at it, they can see the depth. One of the things that we like to use are big, oversized Christmas balls. This is plastic, it's terrific. You don't have to be worried about it falling and breaking. And these go in very far, nestled into the tree. On this particular tree, we have about 3 different sizes of these big guys, slightly smaller, all different finishes. We have matte, we have shiny. They're tucked in deep first. Another large element that we put on the tree this year are these lovely embroidered poinsettias. You can see them throughout the tree. They also can go in not too deep because you won't be able to appreciate them, but you don't want to just smack them on the surface either. You can tuck them in a little bit, and a few things might even go in front of them, but they're quite elegant. These also just make a beautiful table centerpiece with a little bit of pine boughs under them. So big elements first, and you work your way out the branches toward the smaller items. We want to also show you on this tree some of the ideas of repetition. We talked about clustering icicles. Here we have clustered some other elements. You'll see that we used a lot of different textiles on the tree. We have the embroidered poinsettias we spoke of. We have wonderful pleated lame ribbons. We have velvets in our bows. And the velvet bows we've grouped 2 at a time on branches. Our finials we've grouped like the icicles on the previous tree, 2 or 3 at a time. It just gives a cohesive feeling to your tree, makes more of a statement than if things are scattered ones here and there on your smaller pieces. We also want to mention that if you have a red-green tree and you're looking to just change it up a little bit, one element you can add are either clear or rhinestone or both. These give a brightness to the tree that certainly amps up the elegance factor. And we don't want you to be afraid. A lot of people come in and see the beautiful ribbon work that our designers do, and they're intimidated and they think, how can I do that on my tree? Well, this lovely ribbon comes on a spool like so, and literally all you have to do is unwrap it, tuck it in at the top, rewire it with a little pipe cleaner, and then just let it uncoil, and it naturally does this all by itself and looks fantastic. We tend to do a few different lengths of it, shorter and longer. Also, you can add one of our favorite items for years now are these great glitter coils. Very inexpensive. We come in a bunch of colors. You don't need many of them at all per tree. They look like this, and when you unwrap it, they do this. Lots of fun, lots of sparkle, very easy. You don't have to be great at making bows to be able to use these. And these, again, you're just going to tuck into the tree. You can overlay it over the red. This is great for a whimsy theme. We use these on just about every tree. As another take on a very traditional red-green tree theme, we always love to do a whimsy tree every year, at least one, and we've really outdone ourselves this year. As you can see, this tree is called Merry and Bright, and it is very merry and very bright. We have taken traditional red-green ornaments, but we've changed the feel to a very family-friendly, adorable look. Not a lot of breakables here. Kids love trees like this. As you can see, the larger elements that we've included here are fun things like our snowmen that we repeat throughout the tree. We've done some top hats on the tree. You can also add into this other big items. Sometimes we've done a look like this with plush bears actually nestled into the tree. Can look adorable, also looks cute on a flocked tree. We've also had years where we add in sleds, or we'll hang larger lanterns throughout the tree. And what this achieves is not only a terrific dynamic theme, but when you use a handful of larger elements, you've already set the theme and filled a good area of the tree in without having to buy a lot of additional ornaments. The other nice thing is that a lot of these big pieces, like your lanterns or the bears or the snowmen, can be utilized in different ways a following year if you don't want to have your tree theme the same every year. They're still practical pieces. Another thing that we've done on this particular tree is we've combined super whimsy and sparkly with a touch of more naturalized elements. You can see here that we've used a spray of artificial holly, which looks extremely realistic. This has a lot of versatility for you to use other years in arrangements. This is very simple to just tuck in a vase by itself, and it looks completely real, but it just gives a touch of nature into the tree. Another thing that you'll notice we've done are throughout the tree, and especially at the top, we've used these very large, completely realistic looking poinsettias. These can go in the tree protruding out, or at the very top of the tree, we've used them just that one single element for your topper. And because they're so substantial, you only need a couple of stems to create that effect. And then after you've done natural, if you are like us and like a lot of sparkle and glitter, the thing that makes this theme so much fun and whimsical are things like these great little multicolored ball clusters. Just tuck it in and that whole area has some bling to it. You can also add our sparkly poinsettias throughout. If you don't want to go all natural, if you'd rather have the glitter. These are very easily workable. They're wired, super easy to shape and give dimension. And then the last thing I want to point out are these great coils. I showed you on the last red and green tree the coil that comes wrapped up and you just unwrap. These are actually picks. They come like so, and you unwrap it, and this is what they look like. So again, you don't have to be good at making loops or anything like that. Just take these guys, they're on a stem, and you just literally tuck it right in wherever you like it, and they add a splash of fun. As yet another take on a traditional red theme, we wanted to show you our tree called Christmas Carol. This has a little bit of a retro vintage feel to it. It's an homage to the Frank Sinatra days, oldies but goodies. One of the fun ornaments we found this year to help create this theme are our cute little retro vintage vinyl album ornaments for the vinyl lover in your family. We've added just a touch of other vintage 50s styled ornaments into this tree. So you don't need a lot, but it just gives it that feel if you have a lot of red ornaments and you want to change your look. Another thing that we've done on this tree is to accent with a color other than green along with the red. As you can see, the tree is predominantly red silver. When we add the silver elements to this, we've included that great pleated ribbon again that we showed you on the first red traditional tree that's very easy to work with. Don't have to do anything special with that. It kind of does the work for you. We've also added in some silk stem elements onto this tree. And when we were speaking earlier about the order in which you put things on your tree, you'll remember we said lights first, larger items next, in deep. The next thing you'll probably want to do after that is add any of the silk stem ornaments that you're thinking about. On this particular tree, you can see that we did several different textures of large silver foliage. These are also all wired, easily shapeable. When you get stems like this, make sure you don't just leave them flat. You want to give them some body, just like a real plant would be, even though they wouldn't be silver. Do something like so, and then these would be the next thing that you put in. And generally speaking, you want to put them in with a little depth, but also coming out. As you can see, we've shaped some of these so that they begin to cascade down the tree. It draws your eye down the entire tree. So silk stems would be next, and then after that, you could put some of your smaller items out towards the outer parts of the branches. And then one of the last things you can add in are these guys that we talked about on the last snowman tree that we said added whimsy. They also come in red, they come in a few other colors. It's this great little springy pick. Again, you tuck it in. Don't need many of them. These I think are $3.99, so it's a great way to add something to the tree without breaking the bank. One other element I want to show you on this Christmas Carol tree is a garland. Garlands are the last thing you put on the tree if they're a beaded traditional garland. It may be hard to spot not in person here, but we have this great little beaded fringe garland. You can see this here. This we have draped on the tree throughout and just kind of drizzled it. Again, you don't have to worry that you're doing some meticulous, measured out thing. When you've got something crazy and fun like this, it kind of works to just set it on the edges of the branches and tuck it in periodically and weave it back and forth. If you position your tree in your home in a place where you're not seeing it all the way around, if it's nestled in a stairwell, if it's nestled in a corner in your foyer, you really only have to fully decorate the front of the tree and a portion of the sides of the tree. You always want to put a couple of things on the back of the tree, especially up high, to give the illusion that it's fully decorated. But basically you can work towards the front of the tree. And when you have elements like your ribbons or garlands like this, you start by tucking it a little bit towards the back and working across the front of the tree. And when you get about 2/3 of the way around, tuck it in and come back again. You don't need to decorate the full back of the tree unless it's in front of a bay window or in a spot where people are really going to see the whole thing. I also wanted to give you a quick mention about very simple tree themes, of which a lot of you may have at home. Some of you like to do a large tree theme like what we've been talking about, and then a simple little accessory tree in another room that holds one collection of yours. We do a lot of that here at the Rhoads Garden too. Every year we have a number of trees throughout the place that are literally devoted to one artist or one idea. One of them that we're showing this year is by Cynthia Dunn. These are extremely affordable, very kid-friendly plastic ornaments featuring her charming artwork. You've got snowmen, you've got pine cones, you've got chickadees, you've got garden gnomes. We've carried her for a number of years and people love her artwork, so we've devoted a tree just to that. And we've incorporated just a touch of silk. These great branches are very easy to play with and you can use them on virtually any tree theme. We've also added in a little bit of ribbon on this tree too. We do ribbon as an accent on almost every tree throughout. Buffalo plaid, extremely popular this season. It's very on trend. Couple of other collections that we do every year are Pilgrim Imports. Those are handmade copper ornaments featuring all different novelty themes for people on your list. In our garden center, every year one of our favorites for customers are our brushkin bottle brush animal ornaments. This year we have even more variety than any year before. Also wanted to just mention this particular theme, we've added these extremely reasonable $1.99 little styrofoam snowball ornaments. These are just a fun little touch if you've got any kind of kid theme, flocked theme, snow or ice theme. They make a great little accent and very easy on the budget. Our Cynthia Dunn ornaments are a lovely complement to a woodland theme. Every year we do a woodland theme here because we're nature lovers, we're a garden center. So for a nature lover, animal lover, this is a beautiful way to do a holiday theme that then is nice to keep up a little bit longer into the winter. So on this year's theme, you'll notice we have a big focus on cardinals. It's an item we're asked for a lot by our customers. They're sweet reminders of loved ones. So this year we have an especially large variety of beautiful cardinals, different glass ornaments featuring them. We also have feather ornaments featuring them. And this year we even have some great ribbons added onto the tree, or you could add them into a wreath featuring the cardinals. The rest of the tree is all animal themed, all natural looking. This will be a terrific place to use the large sugar cones that we talked about way back at the beginning. But if you don't want to do an actual natural cone element, if you don't want the mess or you don't want to have to store something like that, we also feature artificial cones. These are plastic with flocking on them, look terrific. Very easy way to take a plain green tree and give it a little bit of a flocked feel, and it brightens it up a little bit. And another item I want to mention to you that really brightens this tree up are our light up branch garlands. This is added onto the tree after all of the ornaments go on. This is a terrific piece for your banister, for a mantle, or wrapped gracefully around your tree, even a tablescape, or up on top of something like an entertainment unit. This is electric, it plugs in, it's fully wired, so you're able to manipulate these branches any way you want. Could even wrap this into a plain green wreath to give it some brightness. If you've bought an artificial tree years past and have had a problem with lighting, this is a great way to add light into your tree if you've got an area that's gone dark and you don't know how to solve the problem. This just is a very graceful, beautiful way to solve a problem like that. Now for something completely different. This would not be your natural look we've been talking about. This would be your seriously fun look. This tree is called Making Spirits Bright, and it features, as you can see, non-traditional colors, brights and pastels. This is for all of you out there like us here at the Rhoads Garden who love peacock colors, pink, purple, sparkle. We've put it on a flocked tree for the base so that the colors really jump out against the snowy background. This tree takes very little to create this kind of a look. You'll notice that I am holding a lovely vintage retro looking garland that we carry that features all these fun colors. The tree itself has branches of the same look nestled in there. All it takes is a handful of these branches and the tree already looks decorated. Then any of the ornaments that you have at home that are non-traditional, fun colors, just tuck them on there. We've done the same thing with the artificial silks. If you've got hydrangeas, tulips, roses, spring colors, it all works on here. We also have a couple of really cool pieces on here we want to feature. We love peacock colors, iridescence. So these particular guys have a mirrored carnival glass finish, so they really catch the light, lots of reflection, very reasonably priced. We also have these terrific 3D cellophane bursts on the tree, which are going fast. You can see a piece like this is fun just to hang in the window, but it looks terrific on the tree to give it a very three-dimensional effect. Catches the light, opalescent, picks up on all the other colors on your tree. And in keeping with this kind of a feel, we also have our traditional Old World Christmas tree. Lots of you are Old World collectors. We have done this Christmas tree for at least 25 years here at the Rhoads Garden. It's a definite favorite with our staff. Every year they feature their beautiful blown glass ornaments, and they add all kinds of great new themes. These make terrific gifts for somebody who has a particular interest on your list. I just want to showcase a couple of the new themes that they did this year. For anybody who hasn't gotten to visit relatives out of town this year, you can send them a little love from Pennsylvania. That's one of their new ones this season. Also, they've got for the Scrabble lover on your list, for the woman who loves to crochet on your list, and one of my favorites, anybody that likes to blow bubbles on your list, which who doesn't like to blow bubbles? And because we are the Rhoads Garden, we want to definitely mention their lovely blown glass greenhouse ornament this year. And let's not forget a traditional favorite. If you don't have a pickle on your tree, we feature pickles from Old World Christmas and from Buyer's Choice. This is a great German tradition where Santa hides the pickle on the tree, and whoever finds the pickle gets a special gift from Santa. We'd like to round out our presentation to you today, showing you the use of some monochromatic themes that are not the traditional red look. As you can see, every year we do a gold or several gold themes at the Rhoads Garden. This is a very elegant look that you could do for a formal living room, for a dining room. In this particular instance, on our 24-karat gold tree, we've used a very bold, strong gold tone with yellow hints to it. And the entire tree is essentially that color with a few added elements of rhinestone and clear glass to kind of brighten it up and break it up a little bit. A couple of things we want to mention on here. You'll notice that we've used all one type of silk foliage for our topper. You don't need a whole lot of them because each individual branch is pretty sizable and very easy to work with. These are wired, so easy to shape. In this case, our designers have done them in an upright pattern. The other thing that they've done throughout the tree is to take some of this and other gold elements like the fern you see here and angle them cascading down the tree. And what this does is it draws your eye completely down the tree so that you take the whole look in. Gives it a little movement. Aside from the silks, I wanted to point out there's a great ribbon treatment on this tree. We've done ribbon on nearly every tree this year, and for those of you who are intimidated about how do I make a bow, I don't know what to do, number one, we can make any of those elements for you if you're not comfortable doing it yourself. We have a lovely ribbon selection in the garden center and under each of the theme trees. You can come in, select a ribbon, and we can make these parts for you to tuck into the tree. When you buy a whole roll of ribbon from us, you get a 20% discount on the roll. And we have a great range of prices. Not all of the ribbons are very expensive. Some of them are a little bit expensive, but they're quite gorgeous looking, so it just depends what you want to choose. In this instance, we've used gold poinsettia ribbon. On some of the trees we've seen before this one, we've actually used multiple types of ribbon overlapping each other on the tree. But what you'll notice on all of them is we don't do full bows. That's a little bit dated. It's actually just a lighter accent now. We'll do 2 or 3 loops, or sometimes not even any loops, and just streaming tails. Our designers wire them with a pipe cleaner and then just tuck it into the tree almost like a pick and allow the tails to drape. One of the ribbons we've used this year is one of my favorites. It's a really cool, different look. This is a clear acrylic ribbon with a snowflake pattern on it. This is a fun one because, again, you could keep it up a little longer into the winter. It doesn't just have to be for Christmas Day. And all we've done with pieces like this is just cut. This is probably a little over a yard long, and you take one end and you literally just tuck it into the core of the tree and then allow it to drape. Just do a little twist with it and you've got a terrific new look on the tree. One other element that I want to point out for this one is we've done quite a few mirrored pieces on here. It may be hard to see, so I've pulled a few of them out to show you. These great mirrored stars give a lot of brilliance and reflection. They light up the tree. We've actually got them in 3 different sizes on the tree, and we have them as a topper available this year. And all we've done with them, we hang them, but you can even take them like we've done here and just kind of tuck them into the tree too. But you do want to be careful if you're doing that to make sure you anchor it in some way just so that they can't fall off and break. For our final tree theme to share with you today, we have Champagne Wishes. This is a monochromatic look as well. Very subtle, very elegant. You've got basically champagne tones that include a little hint of rose gold and blush added in. This tree features a lot of silk stems and a lot of ribbon. You'll notice you don't need very many ornaments at all to achieve this look. If you have a handful of platinum or champagne ornaments at home, you could totally do this tree. The silks that we've included on this have a lot of variety in their textures. We've got a lot of velvet on the tree. You'll see this beautiful blush pink dogwood in velvet. We've got magnolias, we've got poinsettias, we've got velvet branches. We have metallic branches as well. Also, some of the velvets are even in a blush color, and these are kind of fun because these could be added into a spring silk as well. The ribbons on this tree are really the pièce de résistance. I lost count at 8 ribbons on this tree. You do not need to do 8 ribbons. However, it is a lot of fun to put variety on there. None of these are full bows. Most of these are very small pieces of ribbon wired together in a variety of textures. This cluster right here has 6 different types of ribbon in it. I'm going to show you how we make them. Our designers will choose, you will choose several ribbons, 2, 3, 4, and they'll cut a little length, maybe a yard long, maybe a little bit more than a yard, depends how tall your tree is and how much ribbon you want on there. But they will literally just make a few loops of each type and wire it onto a pick so that it's very easy to tuck into the tree. You'll go in with a little depth and then let the tails poof out and cascade down the tree. Another thing that you can add into that mix are the coils we've been talking about, the little springy guys. This is a great champagne blush color. That can even get added in to the center of the ribbon look. And you can see the more you add, the more fun, the more elegance. It's a beautiful look. One other thing that I want to show you that we've featured on here are these terrific swags. They're a pick on a stem. It's very glittery, or fits our theme of the champagne color. And when you take them out, You can separate this out, but actually it's very easy to manipulate together as a swag. And what you can see they've done on the tree is swooped it through and then put some of the silks and ribbons out over top of it. But when you put this in like so, it creates the illusion that there is a garland woven all throughout the tree. And it gives it a really sumptuous look. So this is one of my favorites for the year. This is not what my home tree looks like. I still have little kids, so we've got a homespun tree, but this is the look to go for a very elegant living room. I want to thank you very much for joining us for Tree Treatments 2020. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope that it's helped you with some ideas for your home. And I want to let you know we are here to help you anytime that you want to come in. If you're not sure how to achieve a look, if you're not sure how many of an item you might need to create that feeling, we're happy to help you. And we look forward to seeing you. Hope you'll be able to join us also for our holiday open house, which will be next weekend, the 14th and 15th from 9 to 5. Happy holidays.